Hey guys, welcome back. So today I want to talk to you about the LUCID HD7. The HD7 is a red dot sight, which you see here on top of my Bushmaster ACR. Now the red dot sight, the HD7, actually has a number of unique features, and it has a very enticing price point. It comes to market at right around $200, and it is a very feature-rich sight. Let's take a look at some of those features. First of all, it has standard target towers on the sight. Click adjustable with 1/2 inch MOA adjustments at 100 yards. Has hash marks on the dome so you can quickly and easily see where your sights are set. And the sight is also submergible in water. It's waterproof, so the manufacturer claims, and it's also shockproof, so you can beat it up. And to that point, it has an aluminum housing with a rubber armor coating over that housing. The rubber armor extends over the objective side of the lens, and then back here we have another rubber piece over the ocular side. Now it also has two different modes of illumination. You have an automatic mode and a manual mode. Now in the automatic mode, it has a light sensor here on the top just behind the elevation adjustment tower, and this little sensor tells the sight what the ambient light conditions are, and it adjusts the red dot sight accordingly. Now all sights that feature this have a limitation that if you're in, let's say, a dark room shooting outside, for example, or into a well-lit room, it's going to adjust the brightness of the dot for the room that you're in, which means it's going to dim that sight. So if you're shooting into a bright environment, the dot's going to wash out. This sight features a manual mode, so you have two little buttons over here on the left-hand side of the device, which you can increase or decrease the brightness of the dot manually. To select which mode you're in, you just touch the power button, and it'll flicker twice slowly or twice quickly, the reticle will, and let you know which mode you're actually in. Now, another feature is the fact that this sight actually has 4 different reticles, and there's a knob on the left-hand side of the device, and you can, on the fly, very quickly select one of 4 different reticles. Let's take a look at some of those reticles. Now again, all you have to do is turn the knob, and it just quickly rotates the reticle into the view of the shooter. Very simple and easy. One of the things I want to find out at the range is if this thing maintains 0 while you're adjusting the reticle. If you're firing at, say, 100 yards and you have the dot and you switch it to the crosshair and circle, does it maintain the 0? And we're going to find out when we get this to the range. Now, the sight also has a built-in mount system, which is for a 1913 Picatinny rail style mount. This mount has 2 bolts here on the side that you can tighten or loosen to attach it to the rifle. Now, there are no other mounts currently available that I'm aware of for this particular sight. One of the things I would like to see is an AEM style quick release mount for the sight in the future. Now, it also accepts AAA batteries, and right here in the front is the battery housing compartment. And it's a nicely gnarled metal cap that is O-ring sealed, and to the point of this device being waterproof and shockproof and fog-proof. So you just unscrew this, slide in a single AAA battery, and you get about 1,000 hours of life out of that battery. It also shuts the sight off automatically after 2 hours. Now you'll notice that this sight has a very similar profile to the Trijicon ACOG, which I'm holding here. Even though it has a very similar profile, the two sights are nothing alike. The ACOG is a 4-power magnification sight, and this sight offers no magnification. It's just a straight-up 1-power parallax-free red dot sight with those 4 adjustable reticles. Now, the tendency for myself is to actually mount this closer to my eye, but there really is no eye relief. You can mount this sight all the way out on the rail of your rifle. It really doesn't matter. This ocular eyepiece is actually threaded, and they sell a 2x magnifier, which just threads into it, as you can see here. It threads into the sight and magnifies the sight picture by 2. Now this as well can be mounted forward or back closer to the shooter. It has no eye relief even with the 2x magnification. Anyway, for $200, the sight really seems like a great deal. Let's get this sight out to the range and shoot it and get some thoughts of how it shoots and how it handles on the range. Okay guys, we're out at the range with the HD7. I have it mounted to my ACR, which is a Bushmaster made rifle. I have a target out 100 yards, and the first thing I want to test is whether or not this sight maintains 0 as I select between the 4 available reticles. Let's go ahead and start shooting. right, that was with just the standard dot. We'll go to the next one. Fire 5 more rounds. All right, next reticle. 5 more rounds. And the last reticle. Here we go. All right, guys, so here we have 20 rounds fired. I fired 5 rounds for each of the 4 reticles. It would appear that once the sight is zeroed with any one of the 4 reticles, you can switch between those reticles without losing your zero. It's good to see. So the next feature I want to test is the 2x magnifier. Now the 2x magnifier is for sale as an accessory to the HD7. It just screws in to the back of the sight. Like so, and it magnifies the image by 2 power. I'm going to fire off a few rounds and make sure that by adding this 2x magnifier to the sight that I don't change my zero. It actually has a pretty clear picture. The field of view is very narrow, but it has a nice clear picture when you actually look through the 2x magnifier. Let's see how we did. All right, here we are back down range. I fired 10 rounds at the bullseye down here in the center of the chest, and it would appear that the group landed in the exact same spot that it landed up here when I was aiming at the head. That's with the 2x magnifier installed, so it would appear that the sight maintains at 0 with the optional 2x magnifier installed, and it maintains 0 when you select between the 4 different reticles of the sight. So far, I'm really impressed with the quality and functionality of this sight. Well, you guys can probably guess what comes next. Right on the sight. Right on the sight again. Let's see how it holds 0. Some more. Let's go see how we did. Okay guys, we're at about the 30-yard line. I was doing some offhand shooting after dropping the HD7 while mounted to my Bushmaster ACR from about 5 feet in the air. I'm 6'4". Now I dropped it on its side and I dropped it directly on the sight from that height. And it did not seem to affect the point of impact whatsoever. So the sight is maintaining 0 with some fairly rough handling. Lucid claims that the HD7 is waterproof as well as shockproof, and we just took a look at whether or not it's shockproof, and it appears to be. Only way to test if it's waterproof or not is to pour some water on it. Now I have the sight on right now, and I'm giving it a good dousing. Turn it upside down here. Let's see if it's still working. It is. So it would appear that it lives up to the manufacturer's claims of being shockproof and waterproof. So far, I've found no fault with this sight, and it lives up to the manufacturer's claims. All right, some final thoughts on the LUCID HD7. Overall, I'm very impressed with the quality of the HD7, and I'm also impressed with the feature set of the HD7. It has a lot of features that you would find in more expensive sites, but at a $200 price point. And actually, there's some features of this sight that aren't even present in more expensive sites. So overall, I think that the $200 value, this thing is hard to beat, and probably is I will say it is my favorite red dot sight at this point at the $200 price point. This sight has a lot of features. The fact that it has the ability to actually adjust to the ambient light in the automatic mode, your reticle brightness, or to go to manual mode with a touch of a button. I really like that. I don't care for sights like the Trijicon RMR dual illuminated version that have only the ability to adjust itself automatically to the ambient light, because you can get into situations where the dot washes out. With this particular sight, you have the benefit of having that automatic mode, but if for whatever reason it's not working out, touch the button and it quickly goes to manual mode, and you can bump up your brightness and resume shooting. A very nice touch. That's just it. This sight is very well thought out. All of the features really make sense, they're well implemented, and the sight works as advertised. Now, there are some things I don't care about the sight, actually just a couple. First of all, the push button on and off switch and the brightness switch. They're push button. They can be bumped inadvertently, but the nice thing is these buttons are actually recessed in a better location than on sights such as the Vortex Spark or StrikeFire. Unlike the StrikeFire or the Vortex Spark, the buttons on this are actually recessed and out of the way. So I've actually not had a problem with this sight getting knocked on in the case. And that's the complaint that people with the Vortex Spark, for example, have voiced to me, saying, hey, this thing gets knocked on in the case, my batteries are going dead. I've not had that problem with this particular sight. So the buttons are definitely better located. However, I'm still kind of a knob type of guy. I'd rather turn a knob to turn a red dot sight on because it's more positive in my mind. I know exactly what's going on, that tactile response. However, this works, and it works very well. A minor ding. The other thing I don't really care for is the way that the sight mounts to the Picatinny rail. I would prefer a quick detach mount system. And again, it's a minor point. But if my sight becomes caked with mud, I like to be able to get the sight off the rifle quickly and resume shooting with my iron sights. But you do have the backup capability of the iron sights through the sight if needed. So if the sight goes down for whatever reason, the battery goes dead, whatever, you manage to hit it hard enough to actually break it, you can actually use the sights with a lower 1/3 co-witness through the red dot sight. I'm just talking about being able to get the sight off quickly in a hurry should it become unoperable or inoperable due to mud or something like that. Again, just a minor point. Overall, very high quality sight, and again, it's probably my favorite red dot sight at the $200 price point. An outstanding value in my opinion. Now, our friends over at Three Rivers Precision just recently became dealers for LUCID, and they're going to go ahead and extend a very special price to our Mac viewers. They've done this for us in the past. They did it for a Vortex Spark video, which was a huge success. They're doing it for the LUCID HD7 as well, and they're passing a heck of a deal along to you guys. I try to structure these deals where I can. I get no kickbacks. I have no financial relationship with either Three Rivers Precision or LUCID, but where I can, I like to negotiate deals for the viewers and pass along some good deals. And I've done it with this particular site. Swing by the Three Rivers Precision website to get very special pricing if you use this promotional code. The promotional code is MAC, M-A-C, MAC HD7. You can see it down below here. I'll go ahead and put a hot link to the Three Rivers Precision website. You can click on that in the description below. Go there, add the site to your cart, enter the promotional code, MAC HD7, and you're not going to find a cheaper price for this particular site anywhere else on the internet. If you guys have any questions about this red dot site, feel free to swing by our Facebook page. You can find us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/militaryarms. Also, we have an online discussion forum where I post pictures about up-and-coming review items. I have interaction with the viewers. If you want to ask me a question, it's a great place to ask that question. I can respond. I try to respond to all questions that are posted on our online discussion forum. You can find us there at www.militaryarmschannel.com. As always, everybody, I really appreciate those subscriptions, and I appreciate the viewership, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Thanks for watching.